anything that I envision.
The unfiltered world with PA. We don't just pass through, we live it today.
Last time, we uncovered a side of Rio de Janeiro that millions of visitors never see. The African roots that helped build this city from the ground up. But history is only part of the story, because in Rio, Africa isn't locked away in museum or history books. It lives in the rhythm of the drums, the movement of the dancers, the neighborhood, the food, and in everyday lives of the people who carry this legacy forward. Today, we're stepping deeper into the heart of Black Rio. We'll discover how Samba became the soundtrack of a nation, explore one of the city's most iconic Black neighborhoods, and experience the vibrant nightlife where culture, history, and community come together. Along the way, we'll meet the people preserving these traditions and learn why Rio's African spirit continues to inspire a generation. I'm PA, and this is The Unfiltered World.
Take a trip around the world. Take a trip around the world. From Africa to the world. The journey continues.
This is Rio. This is Rio. And this is Rio. But what you're seeing is more than nightlife. Before this night is over, you'll understand why every rhythm, every movement, and every celebration is powered by passion, and why the soul of Rio still beats to the African rhythm. When most people think of Carnival, they picture colorful costumes, incredible dancing, and the biggest party in the world. But Carnival is much more than a celebration. Behind the music and spectacle is a rich history shaped by faith, African traditions, and the resilience of the Brazilian people. To truly understand Brazil, you first have to understand the story of Carnival.
About the Carnival of Brazil. Why? Because Carnival actually comes from the calendar of Christianity, the fast, the 40 days before Easter. That is the day that's celebrated. Sometimes February, sometimes March. But in Brazil, we're gonna have a mix of culture, and that's what makes this so black in Carnival. All right, so Samba, that dance, that rhythm, that journey, that energy. Samba is not just one thing, it's everything. And connecting Samba that used to be forbidden, yeah, together with Carnival. What is the Carnival? It's the celebration of the body, the freedom. So one of those days that people could go to the streets, yeah, go outside and express themselves with their own music, their song, their dance. We're in Carnival. That's how it started. So Carnival will be that celebration of your expression of your own culture. So we have here the couple, the lady carrying the flag and the man dancing with her. But there's something about this picture here is that in his hand was not a fang, it used to be what? A knife. Why? Because we had the groups, yeah, friends making run shoes, making songs and all, but sometimes they bump at each other. Okay. And what has happened, they make fights between them. That was not good. So that meaning was protecting the flag, not the lady, the flag.
The flag.
Because the flag is the name of the group, it's the color, the brand, everything. So each group has own name, his own colors. But we're gonna have, and that's why we have the name here, Elijah Jovino. Elijah Jovino was the man, together with Tia Ciata, together with other black people around the early 20th century, that is gonna organize this party in a large avenue, in a parade. So in the main city center, in a large avenue, okay, let's not bump each other all the time and making fights. No, in a large avenue, pass this group, and after you pass another group, and after you another group. So that's how we started the competition between the schools of Sambas. So schools of Sambas is gonna be in states, in different communities, different neighborhoods. So we're not don't go in one neighborhood and see that. No, they all gonna be telling us stories when we see the Carnival parade. They bring the attempt, they bring a plot that they're gonna show with that costumes, with that colorful stories. Every year they make a new song, compose a new song. So it's more than just a competition, it's learning about our home history. That's why Carnival is so important for us. I love Carnival. Please come to Carnival. It's our better expression of our own blackness.
Unfiltered world with PA. We don't just pass through, we live it today.
To many around the world, Samba is simply a dance. But here in Brazil, it's so much more. Born from the rhythms, song, and spiritual traditions brought by enslaved Africans, Samba became a powerful expression of identity, resilience, and joy. Even as African traditions were suppressed, these rhythms survived, passed down through generations. Today, Samba is celebrated as Brazil's national music, but its roots run deep into Africa. So Samba, is infused with African culture, or is it African culture? How would you describe it?
I'd say it's part of like about the African people left for us here.
Okay.
About these people were brought violently to this country, right?
Right.
They were taken away from their land,
Right.
and they came here and they were stripped from their culture. But even still, their culture survived through generations, and it's still here. It might have changed a little from what it was then
Right.
to what it is now, because different people from different places in Africa came here and they made something together
Right.
through the hardship they went through, but also the happiness they found here as well.
Right.
Even through these hard times,
Right.
there must have been happiness,
Yeah.
and I think that this music brings this to us. Like, even though they went through such hard time,
Right.
there's still happiness in it. There's still happiness in there, and we can still feel their hearts beating with us.
Wow. That's deep. History isn't just about what we remember. It's also about what we were taught to forget. For centuries, Brazil's African story was pushed to the margin, even though it shaped nearly every aspect of the country's culture. Today, a new generation is working to tell that story in full. We asked the founder of an Afro-centered tour company why countering the colonial narrative matters.
The colonial narratives, and then I decided to create something by my own, and I decided to bring a black team. The majority of my team is black because we wanted to decolonize the stories, the narratives, okay?
Right.
And I started to create different roads always related, connected to Samba music, to black history, black culture, indigenous too, okay? Just to give a protagonism to these people, to those people, yeah?
Right.
Because all the time white people speak and you just listen. Now it's our time to speak, to tell our stories. And that's why it's so special. And in 2024, you're responsible for the production of the Festival of Diaspora here in Rio de Janeiro city. It was so incredible.
Wow.
With Carter Carter, that is the president of the Festival of Diaspora, a black man, American man.
Okay.
That just brought this amazing project to celebrate the black diaspora. Yeah. And then after the Black Travel Summit last year,
Okay.
we curated all the experiences with Colombo, with Little Africa,
Wow.
Path, and also Afro food.
Yeah.
You got it at Dida, yeah? God, you like it.
Yes, yes.
Dida is one of our partners.
Wow.
And it was so incredible. People could celebrate our culture, could learn Samba, could learn about Afro cuisine, okay, to know our chefs. It was so incredible.
Wow.
I just love my work because...
You brought them here?
Yeah.
The Black Travel Summit?
I-
That was your work? Because they're in Milwaukee this year. Right?
Yes, I brought them.
Wow, that was a lot of work.
I was one of the curators. The other curator was Diaspora Black, and we together brought them and were responsible for the experiences here.
While Rio is famous for its beaches and iconic landmarks, Some of its richest cultural treasures are found far from the typical tourist trail. Nested in the city's north zone is Vila Isabel, a neighborhood known for its deep connection to Samba, its welcoming atmosphere, and its proud Afro-Brazilian heritage. Today, we're taking a walk through its streets to experience the culture, meet the people, and discover why this neighborhood continues to play such an important role in Rio's story. So, is this neighborhood like unique?
Yeah, unique in the sense, well, it's named after the princess Isabel. She's the one who signed the golden law, let's say.
Okay.
The Lei Áurea, which was the law that abolished slavery in Brazil.
Oh, really?
So that's in her honor.
What was her title?
She was the princess of Brazil.
Princess.
Princess.
Was authorized through Angola or England or what?
So up until 1889, Brazil was a monarchy.
Okay.
Had an emperor. His daughter was the empress, the presumptive heir, right?
Okay.
In 1888, she signed this law, abolishing slavery. After long years of Brazilian society fighting against slavery, finally she made this law, and she abolished slavery. Not so coincidentally, the year after, 1889, the empire fell. It was the end of the empire.
What happened?
The empire fell. It was the end, like, there was a military coup. The military ousted the emperor because all these long years, Brazil took a long time to abolish slavery.
Okay.
It was one of the last countries,
Right.
Americas, in the
Right.
world actually,
Right.
to end slavery.
Right.
And mostly because the land-owning elite, they needed slavery to carry on.
Make money.
Yeah, make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. When slavery was abolished, they just abolished it. Was no payback.
No reparations.
Reparations, neither for the slaves, not for the slave owners.
Okay.
So it was great for the slaves. They were former slaves now, they were free. But at the same time, they didn't get any money, they didn't have reparations, anything, so they were just free. That's it. And for the landowners, they weren't so happy about it. They lost a lot of property, to say that.
Right. Wow.
So just a year after, the empire lost a lot of its political clout, right? The political backing of these elites. So the military coup was actually these elites taking over the reins. Like, okay, like we're gonna go. We're gonna rule this country now. Right. It didn't come back with slavery. It's not something can just come back the other day. But it doesn't work like that. But you see a lot of like how the black population was disenfranchised over time. Both economically as culturally as well.
Okay.
Culturally, I'd say like European culture was seen as like the ultimate expression of the highest expression of intelligence or wherever.
Okay.
Whereas African heritage would be like put aside, something to forget about. But it's impossible to forget when you think that half of the population is of African heritage.
Right. Wow.
At the time, people they're just freed from slavery. So this culture is here,
Right.
staying. It's not in the great saloons. It's not with the big balls.
It's not hidden.
You know? Yeah.
It's not hidden.
But it's here in the streets, everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's where Samba is born. It's born in the streets, it's born in the houses, born in bars, born in factories, where all these black people are
Right.
living their lives, living their culture. Right?
Wow.
It took a while for the Samba culture to become something like out of this into the mainstream. Okay.
Places like Vila Isabel offer something that you won't find at the other tourist sites. Here, history, music, and community come together in a way that reflects the city's African soul.
And this neighborhood is very important because we have samba music everywhere. You can go to Lapa to have samba,
Right.
but this is a residential neighborhood okay?
Right.
That the locals, they live samba all the time.
Okay.
We didn't notice, but there is a party here on the corner with an old black man playing samba. I was on the way to here, and then I was like...
Really? Okay, I need to go there. I need to go out there.
This is Vila Isabel.
Wow.
Yeah, Vila Isabel just is samba, talks samba, okay? Griffith samba all the time.
It's a
We
vibe.
like
It's a
it.
vibe.
Yeah, it's part of our culture.
Yeah.
It's not a party for gringos.
Right.
It's not a party for travelers. The
Right.
travelers need to come here to see the reality.
See the reality.
Okay? To see what we do every day. It's not a party that was created for someone.
Right.
It's a party that we created for ourselves.
Exploring a neighborhood isn't just about its history. It's also about experiencing its flavors. One of Brazil's most beloved treats is Açaí. While it has become popular around the world, its roots are right here in Brazil, where it's enjoyed in countless ways.
So I asked him to put it to go because we have a short time, a lot of things to do. But wait, at least take one bite here, please. Just a moment, why not? You should video yourself eating. Give me that. So let me explain for you. First, this one here. This is called açaí.
Say it again.
Açaí. Look how it. When you see that seed, a lot of people say Açaí, but it's not Açaí because in Portuguese you have that little as.
I always have problems with that word, even in English.
Yeah.
I mess it up.
Yeah.
I have to ask my kids how you pronounce it. But it's very healthy.
Yes, it is. Antioxidant. Of course, if you buy like this, more natural. So açaí, it is a berry, is a type of a fruit that comes from Amazon, north of Brazil.
Oh.
You're not gonna find this fruit here in Rio because we are not in the north. Okay? So this is the fruit. I'm trying to find the fruit. So you see how it is. That is it. So comes from the tree and they make this cream. And here in South East and the whole world, people eat like an ice cream. So they put sugar. Please taste, please. And we eat like this. So it's natural and antioxidant. Here.
You know, they sell these at health places in the U.S.
Because
but they'd be expensive.
But also nowadays people are mixing with too much things, you know. So this is more natural, and we also put granola.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
You good?
yeah.
But now let me explain how the Aboriginal indigenous actually eat. They don't eat sweet. They do the cream, and they eat with food, like with fish, with.
They eat this with fish.
Just
Oh.
just like your lunch, your moment, okay? So, that's the açaí. And now, that is the pão de queijo. Try to say. Pão de queijo. Queijo means cheese. Pão, bread. So, two local food.
Only in Brazil.
In Brazil, yeah, it's from Brazil.
So, how do you say this again?
Okay, what makes hard for any person when I try to say is because the is more nasal. So with P, pão, pão de queijo.
Some places are more than just buildings. They're symbols. Clube Renascença has long stood as one of Rio's most important centers of Black culture, where music, history, and community come together under one roof. But what makes this legendary club even more special is its commitment to giving back. On many nights, admission is free for anyone who brings a bag of rice or beans, donation that helps stock the club's food pantry and support families in the community. It's a reminder that this isn't just a place to celebrate culture. It's a place where neighbors take care of one another.
Oh, guys, you're just in a place that was the stage for the biggest Black parties in Rio. Just imagine the Black activists here dancing Black music, R&B, everything that was connected to the Black culture in Brazil or in America, trying to do a connection between both countries. This place is so special for us because we keep this just as a legacy of our history and our culture. On the top, it's possible to see Black activists, so important to us. There, a group of women, and here on the other side, a group of men. Can you notice that we have Martinho here?
Yeah.
The first one?
Yes.
So amazing.
The unfiltered world with PA. We don't just pass through, we live it together.
As the music filled the room, I couldn't help but want to know more about these Black leaders, activists, artists, and visionaries whose contributions obviously made a big difference in Brazil's history.
The two photos, Ruth de Souza and Lea Garcia. Ruth de Souza is the first actress, Black woman, inside in Brazilian society, but it's a very important actress international, the premium, the champions, the Lion de Veneza. The Lion de Veneza, it's a very important premium, the theater, the opera international. Lea Garcia, it's a champions, the Festival de Cannes, Cannes in France. It's an important movie, the name Orfeu da Conceição. It's a very important understand about the questions, the favelas, the population Black inside the Brazilian society. Helena Teodoro is the first woman on the PhD in philosophy in Americas. It's a reference to Angela Davis, it's a reference to Toni Morrison, it's a connection, the Black women and Black men, the United States and Brazil. On the other side, Neil Lopes study about the culture, the Yoruba societies and Bantu societies, because it's the two kind of groups compose the culture Black in America's continent. The groups coming from the region, the Nigeria and Benin, and the other group coming from Cameroon, Congo, and Angola and Mozambique. Martinho da Vila, it's a lighter, the Samba, the School of Samba, the Resistance, the Music Black. Abdias do Nascimento is the same importance, the Sir Luther King, about the questions, the racial questions in Brazil. Zózimo Bubu, the Finnish, includes theater, capoeira, samba, carnival, many experience, connection, the culture Black, and Brazil, United States, Africa, Cuba, and Afro-Europeans.
Every Samba venue has its own personality. While Clube Renascença celebrates generation of Black history and community, Rio's love for Samba can also be found in smaller, more intimate spaces where the music creates a personal connection between the musicians and the audience. Our next stop brings us to Barra Drummond, where every performance feels less like a show and more like a gathering of friends. Our final stop of the night takes us to one of Rio's most iconic Black gathering places. Today, Viaduto de Madureira is known for its incredible music, dancing, and vibrant atmosphere. But its story begins with something much deeper. Decades ago, many Black Brazilians wanted a place where they could celebrate their culture, listen to their music, and simply be together. What started as a gathering beneath a bridge would eventually become one of Rio's most legendary black culture traditions. Before we stepped inside, our guide explained how it all began.
So this is one of the most notorious black parties in Rio. Got a bunch of mainly American music, American black music playing here. It's one of the most traditional block parties. It's been going on since the late 70s. As you can see, it's beneath the bridge.
We're underneath a bridge.
Yeah, it's underneath the bridge.
A real bridge.
Yeah.
There's cars above us.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the name of it?
This is called Viaduto de Madureira. It started, like I told you, people back then would have the parties in Copacabana in the South Zone. It was too far for them, too expensive, and they're playing white music there.
Okay.
So people started making their own party. So they just went down this bridge here, put the sound system, have a party. Started coming a thing over the years, and nowadays you have this, one of the most traditional parties here.
How old is this club? It's been around forever?
For over 40 years.
How many?
50 years now.
50?
Yeah, since the 50s, since the 70s.
Wow.
It's been a long time.
Wow. I feel like they took a shortcut. They don't have to worry about no maintenance.
Yeah.
They just ain't got to put under the bridge. Yeah.
Hands on heart, let it breathe. One more beat, then we believe. Moon above and drums below. Everyone already knows.
Throughout my travels, I learned that dancing often says what words cannot. Here in Rio, it wasn't just movement. It was history, identity, celebration, and community, all coming together. I wanted to hear that perspective from someone who lives it every day. So I asked my driver, an artist himself, what does dancing mean to the culture? What does dancing mean to the culture in Brazil? Dancing.
A dança significa para você na cultura brasileira?
A todos. A dança é o qual nós representamos, nós expressamos o nosso afeto, a nossa cultura, nós descarregamos toda a energia que consumimos durante a semana no trabalho e aqui no baile de charme, no baile de R&B, aqui no Rio de Janeiro, no Viaduto de Madureira, é o melhor baile do Brasil.
Say that dancing and music is everything in our Brazilian culture. It's a way to express our affection, our feelings, and coming here in the weekend is where you get all the energy you accumulated during the work during the week. And here's a way to let it go, let off some steam.
As the evening came to a close, the stage belonged to one of Brazil's most celebrated vocal groups, Fat Family. Inspired by legendary American artists like Whitney Houston, Chaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, and James Brown, Fat Family created a sound that blended the power of Black American music with the rich rhythms and soul of Brazil. Watching the crowd sing every word, it was clear that music continues to connect the African diaspora across oceans and generations. Before we left, I wanted to hear one final thought for people who call this country home. Beyond the headlines, beyond the stereotypes, beyond the postcards.
What do you want everybody to know about Brazil?
O que você quer que as pessoas saibam sobre o Brasil lá fora?
Olha, eu quero que o povo saiba que o Brasil, principalmente o Rio de Janeiro, essa questão de violência, isso é só marketing. Podem vir para o país, vem curtir o nosso país, vem curtir o Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro é isso, é futebol, é samba, é turismo, é o charme aqui em Madureira, é tudo. Podem vir tranquilo, que é o melhor lugar do Brasil, é o Rio de Janeiro.
The violence, well, there's a stigma of violence in Brazil all the time. But Brazil is not just all about this, it's all about love, about happiness, about having a good time, about us enjoying life.
Rio has shown us its rhythm, its music, its neighborhoods, and a culture whose African roots continue to inspire generations. But our journey isn't over. In our final chapter, we'll venture inside one of Rio's most understood communities, where we'll discover how traditions like capoeira is shaping the next generation, and why the real story of Black Rio is one of resilience, family, and hope. I'm PA, and thank you for watching The Unfiltered World.
In 1,000 cries, take my hand now, we go higher. K2 Beach, in the fire, hear that call, feel the crowd.